our session with a past simple. The past simple shows us that an action was in the past, not in the present. With regular past simple verb had ed at the end like called, played, arrived. Irregular verbs have a different form, usually with a different vowel sound, like work, walk, break, broke, and feel, felt. For example, my parents called me yesterday. The number two of the example, I woke up early this morning. Sam played basketball when he was at university. يبقى the firstly, this is a passive way of the past simple tense in the form of sentence. طيب how can we use past simple to make a negative form of the sentence? We will add didn't and the infinitive verb. Like my parents didn't call me yesterday. I didn't wake up early this morning. It is a negative form of the past simple. That when I want to make a question form with the past simple, will make did, then the subject, then the infinitive verb. Like, did you wake up early this morning? Did Sam play basketball when he was at university? يبقى all of this example to be expressed about the question form in the past simple. يبقى this in the firstly, the past simple will be expressed about action will be happened in the past, not in the present. Will be supplied for two parts. Regular verbs had ed in the end of the verb. Irregular verbs with a different form. In the negative form of the past simple will be added plus infinitive verb. When we want to make a question form will be added, then subject and the infinitive verb and the question mark. طب what's the past continuous? The past continuous shows us that the action was already in the progress at a certain time in the past. For example, what were you doing at 8 p.m. last night? I was studying. This means that I started studying before 8 p.m. and I continued after 8 p.m. The past continuous can also show that an active was in a progress for some time, not just for a moment. For example, we were cleaning the house all morning. We make the past continuous with was or were and the verb plus ing form of the verb. Like for example, he couldn't come to the party. She was working. The 3 years ago we were living in my hometown. I tried to give him some advice, but he wasn't listening. What were you doing this time last year? يبقى this a form of the past continuous. We should know the past continuous will be expressed about action already in the progress at a certain time in the past. The form of this was and were and the verb ing. طب we want the past continuous and past simple. When we use these two sentences together, it shows us that the past simple action happened in the middle of the past continuous action while it was in a progress. For example, while I was studying, I suddenly felt sleepy. We often use these tenses to show an action interrupting another action. Like, for example, I broke my leg when I was skiing. As I was going to work, I saw an old friend. We were watching television when the power went off. Can we see a difference in the meaning of these two sentences? When the guests arrived, Jane was cooking dinner. When the guests arrived, Jane cooked dinner. The first example have the past continuous and past simple. The second example have has the past symbol and the past symbol. In the first one, Jan started cooking dinner before the guests arrived. When no that because it uses the past continuous. In the second sentence, the guests arrived first and then Jan started cooking. All of these will be expressed about the difference between past simple and the past continuous in the same sentence. You should know we want to make all of two sentences in the same sentence. We often use this sentence to show an action interrupting another action, or to show us that the past simple action happened in the middle of the past continuous action while it was in the progress.